Instagram hashtags have always been confusing at the best of times. And ever since the US election, they've been even more sporadic, unpredictable, and sometimes downright weird. However, it is still possible to get insane results with hashtags. Like this one post here on my Instagram account, which gained me over 1,000 followers after reaching over 1 million people, 184,000 of which came directly from Instagram hashtags. Or this post here, which has only been up on my Instagram account for just 2 days and has already reached over 293,000 people from hashtags and another 365,000 from the explore page, gaining over 35,000 likes and 500 new followers in the process. And that's only 2 days after posting. This could easily double or triple in the next couple weeks. So in today's video, I'm going to shed some light on how Instagram hashtags work, how you can make the most of them, the strategies that I use, and pretty much pull back the curtain on everything that you need to do to get the absolute best reach. Think of this as my 7 years of experience with Instagram hashtags compiled into this one video for you to watch and learn from. All that I ask for in return is that you drop a like on the video to show some support to the channel, as I do post 2 videos every single week teaching different tips and tricks around Instagram marketing after my 7 years of experience growing and building accounts, as well as 3 years of running my Instagram marketing agency. Anyway, let's dive into the video. Now, hashtags are essentially Instagram's search engine or way to categorize content so that users can easily find content that they love, and it becomes easier for Instagram to recommend content to people based on the hashtags in it and what people enjoy, what people are engaging with. Because hashtags can actually push you onto the explore page, which we'll talk about later in this video. Now, if someone wants to find content about tennis, they search hashtag tennis. Or if they want to learn how to grow a YouTube channel, they search hashtag YouTube marketing tips. And this searchability on Instagram is actually getting bigger and bigger. Instagram are constantly making updates, pushing the ability to search for content as well as creators to make more long form content. In the past, if you wanted to search for something, you would always go to YouTube or Google, but nowadays Instagram are making a big push towards having people come to Instagram to search for stuff, so being able to use hashtags correctly in the future will become much more powerful as a growth strategy. Now, with hashtags, there are 2 main strategies. You've got outbound and inbound, both of which we'll cover today. But we'll start with inbound hashtags, which is pretty much when you're putting hashtags onto your content to generate awareness. And this brings you somewhat passive growth because you simply add the hashtags to your posts and to the caption or the first comment. There's really no difference between the two. I've seen a lot of people run a lot of tests and there's no real difference between first comment and caption. So you don't have to ask that below, as I know a lot of people unsure on that. And this inbound strategy is how I've got posts like this, which have reached hundreds of thousands of people on one single post using a set of hashtags, and it's entirely passive. Now, what you want to do is you want to find hyper targeted hashtags that are extremely relevant to your content and the niche of your account. You also want to make sure these hashtags are the right size so that you can actually rank on them, and when you do rank on them, you get enough reach. This way, you've got the absolute best chances of ranking on that hashtag and then generating exposure and growth every time people search for that hashtag, or sometimes you'll even get onto the explore page through using that hashtag and then showing up in front of hyper relevant people in that way. Now, keep in mind your hashtags have to be hyper relevant to your content and niche, otherwise they simply will not work regardless of the amount of engagement you're getting or the size of the hashtag. The more niche, the better you can get with your hashtags. However, there is a fine line because you don't want to go for something so niche that no one is actually searching for. You want to find that balance. The reason you want to be so niche is because one of the biggest factors that I've noticed for actually ranking on a hashtag is the click-through rate people have on your content, which pretty much determines how relevant your content is to that hashtag. Now, a high click-through rate is a good indication that your content is relevant, because if someone searches hashtag Instagram tips and you've got a carousel, for example, which is 5 best ways to grow on Instagram, people are highly likely to click on that post, watch through it, and that sends good indications to the Instagram algorithm to push your content higher up in that hashtag. However, if you were to post, say, a similar carousel but for YouTube tips, and you put hashtag YouTube tips, hashtag Instagram tips, hashtag Facebook tips, and you covered off all the social media platforms, you probably would not rank for hashtag Instagram tips or hashtag Facebook tips, because no one searching for that is going to click on a post about YouTube tips. Instagram will then notice that people aren't clicking on it on this tag, and they will then take it off that hashtag. Instagram want the most engaging content that people are clicking on to go at the top of the hashtags, similar to how Google or YouTube's search algorithm ranks. The content with the highest click-through rates are the ones that rank at the top. Now, here's an example of the perfect process when it comes to hashtags in a real life situation. So you create an awesome piece of content about home ab workouts, and someone searches hashtag abs workout on Instagram. They then see your post pop up, and maybe it's something like 5 best exercises to get a ripped six-pack. They click on it, they consume it, they engage with it because it is hyper relevant to what they were searching for. And because your content is so relevant to this hashtag, a large proportion of the people searching this hashtag will click through to your content. Instagram pick up on this, they notice it, their algorithms track this, they track how people interact with your content and so on. And because of this, they rank your content right at the top. On the other hand, if you were to use hashtag fitness or something bigger and more competitive, you probably would not see the same results. Firstly, because the competition on hashtag fitness would be absolutely insane. And second, because if someone's searching hashtag fitness, they're not necessarily looking for an abs workout, which means only a small proportion of the people looking at that content are looking for your content, and then even a smaller proportion of them will be clicking through to your content, which means your click-through rate is going to be really low. People searching that hashtag are probably looking for something more generic. This dramatically decreases your click-through rate on that hashtag and means your ranking is likely to be much lower. From what I've noticed, the highest ranked post on a hashtag is often the one with the best click-through rate mixed with the best retention rate. So when people click on that piece of content, do they get a positive response from it? Do they click on it? Do they watch the video? Do they swipe through the carousel? Do they read the whole caption? And do they just stay on that piece of content for a long amount of time, or do they click on it, realize it's not for them, and then click off, which is a bad mark in the algorithm? Now, as mentioned, it's also worth noting the competition of hashtags. According to the hashtag tool that I use, Flick, which you can get a free trial of, link in the description, there are 176,000 posts made every single day on hashtag fitness. And this includes posts from the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, the world's most followed Instagram user and second best ever football player, compared to hashtag abs workout, which has less than 1% of that amount of daily posts with 1,700. Now, which hashtag do you think you're more likely to rank on? The one with 176,000 daily posts, or the one with 1,700 that is much more targeted to your niche? That's right. Hashtag fitness is the one you're more likely to rank on. Just kidding. Obviously, hashtag abs workout would be much better in this situation. So now that you're aware of the role that competition plays and the importance of having a high click-through rate on your content, how do you actually get that? Like, how do you create content that gets a high click-through rate? Now, there are two main ways which you can increase your click-through rate to rank higher on hashtags and just rank higher on Instagram in general. Now, the first one is to have better targeted hashtags that are the right size for your account. And I'll show you exactly how to find these later in the video. And then the second one is to have content that grabs attention and people just naturally are drawn to. This is why carousels, reels, and videos are doing so well on Instagram. Not only do they have a great click-through rate, but people often spend more time on them compared to a single image. Now, the reason that these three formats of content have a much higher click-through rate than a regular image is if you go on a certain hashtag and you pull it up, you can see the entirety of that post without even having to click on it. So there's less of an incentive. It might be a photo of someone, it might be a post with some tips on it. However, if you see a video and it's like 3 ways to grow your Instagram, you don't know what those tips are until you actually click on it. Same with a carousel, same with a reel. You don't know what the content is until you click on it and consume it, which means you're more likely to click on it and consume that content, which is why this content does so well. Also, as mentioned, people spend more time on it. And you can use big attention grabbing headlines because you've got more time to give away the content. So it could be a big thing, how to gain 100,000 followers on Instagram, or how to lose this amount of weight in this amount of time, or how to make this much money. And then use a highly targeted hashtag. So people search that hashtag, they see the big headline, they're drawn to it, they click on it. Boom. So bear that in mind when trying to rank on hashtags. You need to have a strong reason for people to click through your content. I would recommend to improve your hashtag ranking as you use either really powerful images that people want to click on, or you use reels or videos with a good thumbnail, or use a carousel with a really popping opening slide that encourages people to click on it. The two posts that I showed at the start of this video were actually single images, which can still rank in hashtags as you saw, but I'm just giving you some other ideas. But how do you actually go ahead and find these hashtags? Now, the obvious hashtags likely jump into your head straight away. For fitness coaches, it might be hashtag fitness, hashtag exercise, hashtag weight loss, hashtag muscle, all these big hashtags that anyone thinks of. And whilst they can work, like we talked about earlier, the competition on these is just ridiculous. At the same time, you don't want to use super niche ones that have only got a few thousand posts on them, meaning no one's actually looking at them or using them, because you might rank number one for 30 hashtags, but no one's looking at them. So your hashtag reach might be 100 or 200 total, which you don't want either. You want to find that nice balance. We've got those medium-sized ones. So let me jump into my screen and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so diving into my screen, what you're going to want to do first is to create an account with Flick. Now you can get a free 7-day trial using my affiliate link in the top of the description. We can go and create your account and you can walk through all of this with me. Now this tool is super safe. I've used it for years and never ever had any issues, and that's because you don't have to log in with your password. It's actually approved by Facebook. All that you have to do is simply make your Instagram account a business account and then connect the connected Facebook account with Flick, and then you should be able to bring up a screen like this. We've got the search bar and you're going to activate smart filters, and what this is going to do is it's going to look at your account, look at your average engagement, how many likes you get, how many views, how many comments, how many followers do you have, and it is going to activate smart filters, which means it's going to give you a range where they cut out the hashtags too big for your account and cut out the ones too small. Now, the size of hashtags too big or too small will vary based on the size of your account. If you've got 1 million followers, the size of hashtags you'll be targeting will be different to if you've got 5,000. Then what you're going to do is put in these big keywords in your niche, and then Flick will show you a ton of hashtags that are in that niche but fit inside your category, and then you can select those. So for example, if we're using the fitness niche as an example, we can search fitness, and as you can see here, it's automatically pulled up some filters based on the average engagement of my account. So it's only showing me hashtags that I need between 0 and 746 likes to rank on at the top, and it's only showing me hashtags with posts with 5,000 to 865.2 thousand posts, which are all here. So hashtag fitness, what we're going to do, we're just going to select the ones that are relevant. So we're going to use Straight Talk, Fitness Addicts, Fitgram, Fitness Mode, and I'm just going to pretend I'm a personal trainer or something, or doing this for a client that is a personal trainer. Hashtag lifestyle. Oh, that's spelt wrong. I wouldn't recommend using hashtags that are spelt wrong. Personal preference. Performance nutrition, mile run. I also wouldn't recommend using hashtags specific to a location unless you are in that location. Fitness fam, fitness is life, and you're pretty much just going to go through and select the ones that are relevant. That's given us 11 hashtags. Now we're going to move on to the next keyword that we had, and I think it was weight loss. So that's going to be the next keyword that we'll throw in. That was one of the big ones that I think I mentioned before. So fitness progress, 8-week transformation, fat loss help, and we're just going to go through and again select any relevant hashtags that are healthy weight maintenance, low calorie diet, and we'll just keep going through these. Leaner, weight loss account, weight loss blogger. And I'm not rigorously looking through these, but I am then going to search another keyword. And then the last keyword we'll search for this, because we've got 21 hashtags, you want to make sure you get up to 30, is health. And what I'm going to do this time is just sort it by potential reach. so the ones with the highest potential reach, and I'm going to have a look at those. So we'll use hashtag health, hashtag mind body, healthy active lifestyle, health goals, health and happiness, healthy options, health blogger, healthy mindset, physical health, and that gives us 30 Instagram hashtags. Then before you finish, you're going to click audit selection, and it is going to go through and make sure that none of the hashtags are banned. So sometimes hashtags can be banned, which can negatively affect your account. You want to make sure you've got all 30 slots filled. One of the hashtags is very large, hashtag health. That's okay. It's okay to have one or two big ones in there. And then you're simply going to copy that to clipboard. You can also add it to a collection. So I can call this new collection, and we'll call this health hashtags. And just like that, that's a set of hashtags done. It's pretty straightforward, pretty simple to use. And then all you have to do is copy collection and use that next time that you go to post on Instagram for additional reach. And if you pair those hashtags with great engaging content that's got a high click-through rate, you're going to absolutely crush it with hashtags. Now, you can do this process manually. However, it would take hours compared to taking minutes with Flick, and Flick is so much more efficient. And I mean, at the end of the day, you can get a free 7-day trial with my affiliate link down below. Now, before we wrap up this video, another feature of Instagram hashtags is they're seen as like the gateway to the explore page. Notice how those screenshots that I sent at the start, like this one and this one, how they had not only a lot of hashtag reach, but they also had most of the time even more reach from the explore page. They would all reach 100, 200, 300,000 people on hashtags, but they would be reaching 300, 400, 500,000 on the explore page. That's often how Instagram hashtags and the explore feed work together. When you tag your content correctly, Instagram display it on those hashtags. And then if it performs well on those hashtags and the audience interact with it well, Instagram start pushing it to more people who are similar to those who enjoyed it, and they do this through the explore page. Or so we are told anyway. And based off experience, this is what happens. If your content does well on hashtags, it gets pushed to explore, where it gets considerably better reach and growth. Now, the most important thing for actually ranking well here is, again, making sure your content is hyper relevant to the actual hashtags, because Instagram's algorithm is extremely smart, and if you use hashtags that might be trying to be better for growth but they're unrelated to your content, they will sniff you out right away and you won't hit the hashtags or the explore page. At the end of the day, if your content is the best and most relevant to the hashtags that it is on, you will rank at the top, which is often where people go wrong. Because at the end of the day, hashtags are a competition. You are competing for that #1 spot on the hashtag, which means your content has to be better than the other people using that hashtag, which is often why you have to use smaller ones, because there's less competition and therefore easier to rank on. But look at what's ranking on these hashtags and see how you can do a better job, how you can create better content. And then if you learn how to do that, how to create better content than anyone else on that hashtag, you will do better. Your content will rank better, you will grow faster, you'll get more reach, not only from hashtags, but also the explore page. So that's how you use the inbound hashtags to grow your audience and get in front of new people passively to build up your profile. But I quickly want to cover outbound hashtag growth, which is something that I've talked about in a different frame on the channel. Now, this has nothing to do with posting content and everything to do with going out there on the offensive and engaging on content to put in the work and grow your audience. What you want to do is go back to those big hashtags in your niche that are too big for you to rank on, and then instantly head to the posts there, and you're just going to go and engage. Just go nuts on those hashtags, engaging, liking, replying to comments, leaving your own comments, liking people's comments, and just getting yourself out there. And the idea is, if you're using hashtags relevant to your niche, anyone consuming this content is likely also interested in your content. So if you can get in front of them by engaging with them where they already hang out, it's a great way to drive targeted profile visits back to your profile, where then if your content is optimized, your page looks great, it speaks to those people, it gives them value, they will turn into a follower and eventually a loyal fan of your profile, which at the end of the day is the goal. Now, this is also known as the $80 strategy. I do have a full tutorial for this on my channel, the 10x2 strategy, 501, Gary V, etc. There's a lot of names for it, but that's how you're going to do it. You actively go and engage on hashtags to bring people back to your profile and build your audience. So that's exactly how Instagram hashtags work, how to find them, how to manage them, how to actively engage on them to grow your audience. And I hope this video has helped. It's been a big one. Now, as mentioned, you can get a free trial of Flick, the hashtag software I use to not only track, manage, but also look at the results of my hashtags, see which ones I'm ranking on, which ones are performing, which ones are not, so I can improve my results. Like I said, free trial of that, link in the description down below. And you can also get my Instagram crash course down below too. So I will leave a link for both of those. Check those out, drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. And if you want to see more of these longer form deep dive videos where I go like 20-30 minutes on certain topics, let me know in the comments, as if you'd prefer to see these over the shorter 8, 9, 10, 11 minute ones, then go for it. Let me know. Hope this video helps. My name's Josh, and I will see you next time.